on in.
Hi, I'm Melissa Glasgow, and this is my daughter Mackenzie and my son Barrett.
I'm Mackenzie Glasgow. I am 15 years old, and I am a sophomore at SOA.
I'm Barrett Glasgow. I'm 13 years old. I'm in 8th grade, and I go to Christ Church King.
I'm Chris Glasgow, and I am 42 years old, and I don't go to school anymore.
Well, I was in 8th grade. My teacher, Miss Bruno, she was my English and my history teacher. She decided we were going to have a project, and it was all about your family history and everything, how your name came to be and everything about it.
We had a lot of folklore and a lot of stories and tales, but we never knew for sure. We didn't have any definitive proof. So instantly I start looking for information on the family. What I find out real quickly is there is no solid bit of information. It's bits and pieces. So I started getting a little bit more curious, wanted to know, like most people, it's like, well, where do we come from? What is, the origin of our name? And that's how this project really started taking a life of its own. This has definitely been a snowball. It started off being just a little, call my father or call some of my uncles and say, hey, what do you know? Give me some information. And then I find out very quickly, we got a little bit here, got a little bit there, and once again, so it was, okay, let's dig. And once I started digging, once I started making the phone calls, then curiosity took over, and then, investigating was really becoming more and more of a passion then. And that's what happens. I basically just kind of went wholehearted into this thing. My biggest highlight, I think, has been contacting family members that either I didn't know or wasn't sure about or hadn't never heard of or may have heard of. Basically it's the reaching out and touching and meeting people that we are, whether it's our grandparents or our parents or even their great-grandparents that we're related to directly. And then it was finding out those personal stories. Hey, I grew up with your grandfather or your great-grandfather. I remember him well. Wow, that was... So it's been wonderful with what I'm going to call the older generation, the generation that was, that are now 70 and 80 years old, who really remember vividly my grandparents when they were real young. And that was number one. That was exciting to me, discovering those people. Number two has been the older history, learning how we got here from Scotland and Ireland, and knowing that there's a lot of history there, a lot of stories. Original story, us being sold as white slaves in Scotland, basically escaping from a shipwreck and running for their lives to Ireland. That's how we got to Ireland. That's pretty interesting for me, and that's been the biggest highlight. And then obviously the immigration to America.
I had no clue about any of my family, and now I'm hearing about people that I've never heard from entirely, and we're getting to talk to them and get to hear a lot of information of our background history, which is really neat to hear about.
When we first had started out in 8th grade, you showed me that book about Glasgow, Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
and learning more about how our family actually had started that one little area.
The town was named for the Glasgow family.
And that was the coolest thing, learning about like our own little area.
Yeah,
And like having pictures and everything written. It was really neat.
to discover where we've been, what we've done, who's been instrumental, how did we get where we're at? Where did these people come from? What did they do? I can't wait to meet everyone as much as I can and to put together the history of this family and give that back as a gift. In addition, I really just need to find out more about you.